So, I just got done with my quiz, and I did good on it, but not what I expected. So I'm probably going to drop that one. I get to drop like 4 quizzes, so that's probably one I'm going to drop. You just slash that one out. Yeah, it's been one of those days, as you can see. Got my book. Push and pull systems. 2 ways to configure a run in supply chain are as a push or pull system. A supply chain can be viewed from left to right. That is, material, information, and goods are moved and pushed downstream from suppliers to customers. A push system produces goods in advance of customers, demanding using of a forecast of sales and moves them through the supply chain to points of sale where they are stored as finished goods in inventory. And push system has several advantages, such as immediate availability of goods to customers and the ability to reduce transportation costs by using full truckload shipment to move goods to distribution centers. Push systems work best when sales patterns are consistent, when they are a small number of distribution centers and products. In contrast, viewing these supply chain from right to left and transferring demand to upstream processes is sometimes referred to as demand chain or pull system. Simple systems is mechanical engineering and a business structure. They also have a pulley and push and pull system in mechanical engineering. That I just thought about that. A pull system produces only what is needed as upstream stages in the supply chain in response to customers' demand signals for downstream stages. Pull systems are more effective when there are many production facilities, many points of distribution, and a large number of products. Many supply chains are a combination of push-pull system. These can be simplified versions of several supply chains in Exhibit 9.2. That's right there. And the point of the supply chain that separates the push system from the pull system, and it's called a push and pull boundary. A push-pull boundary. The point in the supply chain that separates the push system from the pull system. Skip that one. Alright. Very clearly in the supply chain where suppliers store inventory for frequent deliveries to Dell factories. Dell also ships directly to the customers, skipping the distributors and retailers. GM stores finished goods. Yeah, skip that. Let's go to the definitions. Postponements. Postponements is the process of delaying product customization until the product is closer to the consumer at the end of the supply chain. Sustainability. That's good. Everybody knows about sustainability. Green sustainability. A green sustainability supply chain can be defined as the process of using environmental friendly inputs and transforming these inputs through change agents. Change agents who byproducts can improve or be recycled within the existing environment. These processes develop outputs that can be reclaimed and reused at the end of their life cycle, thus creating a substantial supply chain. Something as simple as reducing the amount of cardboard or filler by designing smart packages as can save companies money and reduce landfill waste by an energy usage. For example, Dell increases the average truckload from 18,000 to 22,000 pounds, and work with to optimize delivery stages. Develop an innovation system. They have a lot of names in here, of companies. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to be saying them. Placing pallets on 2 levels allowed on facility floors to reduce the number of daily truckloads by. Skip that. I do a lot of skipping around just because I'm just really going over what I already know. Skip that too. I already went over that. I remember that. What do I go to next? Critical factors in location decisions. That's pretty cool. Location. Central gravity methods determine X and Y coordinates for a single facility, although it does not explicitly address customer service objectives. It can be used to assist managers in balancing cost and service objectives. The center of gravity method takes into account the locations of the facility and markets, demands, and transportation costs in arriving at the best location for a single facility. It would seem reasonable to find some central location between the goods producing on service providing facility and customers at which to locate the new facility. But distance alone should not be the principal criteria, since the demand from one location to another also affects the cost. To incorporate distance and demand, the center of gravity is defined as the location that minimizes the weighted distance between the facility and its supply and the demand points. The first step in the procedure is to place the location of existing supply and demand points on a coordinate system. The origin of the coordinate system and scale uses an arbitrary as long as the relative distance are correctly represented. Placing a grid over the ordinary map in placing a grid over an ordinary map is one way to do that. The center of gravity is determined by equations 9.1, 9.2, and it can easily be implemented on a spreadsheet. The center of gravity method is often used to locate service facilities. For example, in locating a waste disposal facility, the location coordinates can be weighted by the average amount of of waste generated from residual neighborhoods and industrial sites. Industrial sites. Similar to locate a library, fire station, hospital, or post offices in the population densities will define the appropriate weights in the model. Let's get that. Vendor managed inventory. What is that? Is where the vendor monitors and manages inventory for the customer. That's like self-explanatory. Let's do some math. I haven't done math today. I haven't done any math, like, whatsoever. I know. I haven't done any cost analysis. I was supposed to do something with that. Oh, that's a different page. That's a whole nother chapter. Oh, enough of that. I'm done for night. It's 12:57. So, like, I had to get some stuff done today. Like, seriously. Go to the Easy Read book. Put this one up. Ooh, where was I? Not that far. Oh, did I already know? Did you skip that one? Oh, no, right here. Carlos, a kitchen rag slung over the shoulder of his marinara splatter chef jacket, stood on his tippy toes, peering. Yeah, I already read that. No, I didn't. No, I haven't. He stood on his tippy toes, peering out of the porthole-shaped window in the door to the dining room. "Your boyfriend's here," he yelled across the kitchen. The eyes of the dishwasher named Romano darted to me. I could often feel them on the back of my head. It was a running joke in the kitchen that Raymond's was madly Mexican soap opera style. Yep, I already read that. Alright, so I'm over on this side. I have this little slip of paper, but I have it folded down like on one side, so it's like, okay, fold down to this side, or do I fold down to that side? I don't know. But obviously, the other side. Alex leaned over the hostess stand. Alex leaned over the hostess stand and pointed at something on a piece of paper. His blonde bangs flopped over one eye. Despite my repeated objections that he looked like a certain tweeting pop star, Alex refused. Am I just repeating myself? Or did I forget to turn the page? Alex had a big sloppy grin on his face that happened to show off his annoyingly cute dimples, and he was shifting his weight from foot to foot. "It's your golden ticket." He tapped the top of the page. "You're welcome." I gave him a look that said, I have and what are probably now 2 bowls of gelato soup waiting for me in the kitchen. Alex snatched the paper from my hand, waving it in frustration. It's a reality show. It's a reality show cooking competition thing, and you're going to win it. I laughed as if Alex had announced my nomination for Homecoming Queen. A fun fantasy, but entirely impossible. I'm going to win it. Yep, he said. Yep. His eyes sparkled with an intensity I had no power against. That was the sparkle that had been getting me in trouble since third grade, when Alex's mom, then just a random neighbor, invited me to the Underhill's house. Oops. Underhill's house. And she wanted me to give my chicken box to her son. On the phone with my dad, she called it a chicken pox party. My dad called it strange, but allowed me to go anyway. It was after lunch when Alice convinced innocent young Calamine covered me that we were going to run away together, preferably to the circus, but not the kind where they were mean to animals. We had stolen his mom's keys and forgotten as far as the end of the driveway with the gear shift in neutral before Miss Underhill ran out of the house screaming. I cooked in an eyebrow and spoke in a mockingly soothing voice. Hey Alex, have we made a unscheduled stop to I don't know that word. Because I didn't see it on the itinerary. Alex and I had 6th grade geography together and found it nearly impossible to recite the stand countries in front of the class without cracking up. It therefore wormed its way into the private lexicon rather than there's another word. People in our world live in Freakistan and Creepistan. If they were particularly insufferable, they had carried passports from a sudden clang of metal, followed by the sound of china shattering on the tile floor, exploded from behind the kitchen doors. On few remaining patrons swiveled their heads toward the sound. I gotta go, I said. You're saying you're staying for dinner, right? Of course. Principia. I suspected he said it was a dorky flourish, but I wasn't sure, as I was already halfway to the kitchen with my dad on my heels. When the open sign in front of the door was flipped to close, the Nicolaides family and whatever staff had stuck around would sit down for a meal in the Taverna Ristorante dining room. And if your last name was Nicolaides and you reside at 1802 Springfield Drive in something, you had to be at family dinner. And it was not a choice, it was ditty. And not just on Saturday either. but Fridays too. I blame my complete lack of social life on these dinners. Rafi has somehow convinced Dad to give him the night off from a school concert. I suspected I was, but he rolled in the 10:30. The chair was already up on the tables. He helped Nikki and other waiters named Dave pull together from Dave pulled together some 4 tops to make one long table. One long table in the center of the restaurant. Alex and I set platters of spaghetti salad and what was left of Lewis's very popular lasagna. Las Promanevra. My dad was in the office entering credit card receipts and locking the night cash in the safe. We finally heard his footsteps on the old creaky stairs. Baba, Venus noche. Baba, Binas noche. Alice cried as my father appeared through his arms open in an exaggerated mafia family-style hug. I am not your Baba, Alex, said my father, foregoing the hug for the rough torso of Alex's shaggy blonde hair instead. The scene, as well as rehearsed, Dad had never totally gotten over his suspicion of the boy his daughter vehemently claimed. I told you I don't know all the words. I don't have all the answers. Claim was just a friend, but I knew he loved Alex. My father took his unusual seat at the head of the table. The rest of us, a dozen or so, filled in, and before long the conversation and wine flowing. These dinners often lasted 2, once even 3 hours until he cooks had to go to get home to wives and children, and waitresses had to meet their boyfriends. After his dramatic entrance earlier, I was amazed that Alex had made it almost 30 minutes before bringing up the application again. I tried to distract him with seconds and thirds, but at some point, a boy gets fooled. So he said, I knew it was coming. He leaned back on one leg of the chair and threw an arm around Rafi's seat next to him. How do you guys feel about reality TV? Yeah, I'm done for the night. That's it. Let's put that right there. I'm going. What is 109? Let's see. Yes, I know my hair looks like that. But after the quiz, I went and took a shower and then came in here. That quiz kind of stressed me out. I definitely have to drop that one. Left. Press LR on the controller, then press A. Please connect. Be right back.
That's even better.
It's been 25 minutes. Next. Back. Please reconnect as well as controller to continue. Do I not do that? It comes off at 11, at 111. There we go.
Get some Wombas.
What else did I do today? So with the rally rings, okay, you're on the limit, and you start off with, I believe, 5 seconds, and then as soon as the race starts, your timer starts. 5 seconds to 4 to 3 to 2 to 1. And in order for you to keep racing, you have to go through the rings. And the rings adds time to your countdown, starting off with 5. And I believe each lap the ring count decreases, so the more rings you have to acquire more rings in order to keep racing, and it's a battle to see how long you can actually stay on course. This is called a ring rally. I'm on my 3rd lap. Oh, you can't see. Woo. 3. Let's go. Nick. That's all I'm gonna record tonight, this morning. Yeah. So, good night, and yes, I'm gonna do some more reading tomorrow. See you later. Oops. Out the shower. Quiz stressed me out. To the shower. And yes, I'm dropping that quiz. I got to. I get to drop 4 quizzes. That's how stressed I am about that one quiz. Drop. Well, that's the only one this semester I could drop. But I have the option of dropping 2 more, I believe. 2 more. Peace out.